Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 7.4, Patterns in Doubles and Halves. The materials that you'll need today, notebook paper, pencil, math journal, template, and calculator. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 169. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So for question number 1, which one is impossible? Choose the best answer. You should have picked a fish will live out of water. For question number 2, you're solving, and the unit I picked today were rocks. So I know that 37 plus 9 gave me a total of 46. And then 137 plus 9, I had 146. Then 116 minus 8, I had 108. And 176 minus 8, I had 168. For question 3, draw 5 fish bowls and 2 fish in each bowl. So yours maybe looks something kind of like mine. And then how many fish in all? You should have had 10 fish. For question 4, arrange the number of pets in order from the minimum, the smallest, to the maximum, the largest. So I have in order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And then the maximum number that I had, the biggest was 7, and the minimum or the smallest number was 0. For question 5, 1 bag of sugar weighs 5 pounds, so 6 bags of sugar weigh 30 pounds. 5 times 6 equals 30. And then for question 6, circle the trapezoid that has 1/3 shaded. Notice how both of them do have 1 out of 3 shaded, but the first one, the pieces are divided equally, where in the second one, they aren't equal size pieces. So you should have picked the first one. Double check to make sure you have your page correct before moving on to the next slide. For our next slides, please use your notebook paper or whiteboard and marker if available to write down your answers. If the speed is ever too fast, pause as often as needed. So for our first questions, we're thinking about an in and out, and we're thinking about double. So if I have 5 and I'm doubling it, what would come out? You can either say the answer or you could write the answer on your whiteboard, but you should have had 10. Well, what if I have 8? So I'm thinking about what's half of 8. You should have said 4. If I have 7, what's double of 7? You should say 14. And if I have 12, what's half of 12? You would say 6. For this next one, if you want to write down your answers on your whiteboard, and then press play when you're ready to check. So our first one, we have 9 plus 3 plus 11 plus 17. Press pause and play when you're ready to check. All right, second graders, for this one, I know that 9 plus 11 equals 20, and I know that 3 plus 17 also equals 20. Well, 20 plus 20 equals 40. Can you solve 12 plus 13 plus 17 plus 8? Press pause and play when you're ready to check. All right, for this one, I know that 8 plus 12 equals 20, and I know that 13 plus 17 equals 30. So 20 plus 30 equals 50. How about this next one? 25 plus 4 plus 16 plus 15. Press pause and play when you're ready to check. So for this one, if I have 25 and I'm adding 15 more, well, 5 plus 25 would bring me to 30, plus another 10 would bring me to 40. And then if I have 4 plus 16, I know that's 20, giving me a total of 60. We'll try one more today. We have 33 plus 25 plus 25 plus 17. Press pause and play when you're ready to check. All right, so I know that if I'm at 33 and if I add 7 more, I would have 40. And then plus another 10, I would have 50. So 33 plus 17 is 50. Well, guess what? 25 plus 25 is also 50. 50 plus 50 equals 100. For the next part of the lesson, you can put your notebook to the side and we will now look at our math journal, page 170. 170 takes a look or looks like this. So I'm going to read you a story about wobbles and I'm going to tell you kind of what you're going to need to do on this page. So if you have a calculator, that would be really helpful. So I'm going to switch my page so that I can read the story as we follow along. And I'm going to pull up my calculator too. Okay? All right, the Wubbles. Wubbles are very well behaved and they brush their teeth regularly. You would like to play with one for a short time. The trouble with Wubbles is that they double. When Wubbles go to sleep, they double and wake up twins. Suppose your mother let you invite a friend to spend spring vacation at your house. You invite your friend who is a Wubble. After school on Friday, you and the Wubble go home, play, eat dinner, play some more, and go to bed. Sometime during the night, while you are sleeping, there is a slight pop, and the Wubble splits into two Wubbles. On Friday there was one Wubble. Saturday morning there were two Wubbles. You're a little worried because your mother said you could have only one friend for the week, so the Wubbles take turns playing with you while one hides in your room. So let's fill out just a little information that we know so far. So we know that on Friday there was one Wubble. And we know that on Saturday morning now there were two Wubbles. Let's continue reading a little bit. That night both Wubbles go to sleep. You are very curious, so you stay awake, and sure enough, just before sunrise early Sunday morning, you hear one pop. Then you hear another pop. Now there are four Wubbles in your room. What to do, what to do? You decide to hide the Wubbles and again have them take turns coming out to play. You are very worried though. If things keep going like this, you will have a lot of Wubbles to hide by the end of vacation week. You decide not to panic, but to figure out how many Wubbles there could be by next Friday morning. All right, second graders. So our Wubbles, we're going to notice are doubling. And they told us one more thing. They said that on Sunday there were now four Wubbles. So we are going to keep doubling our numbers to figure out how many Wubbles there are on Friday. Now if you'd like to use your calculator, I'll show you a little trick. So if I take 1 and I click my multiplication symbol, my times, so 1 times 2, and if I click equals, you'll notice that then I figured out Saturdays, which was 2. If I hit equals again, I have Sundays, which was 4. Well, if I hit equals again, I'm going to get Mondays, which was 8. Could you continue doubling to figure out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then press pause when you're ready to check these four? All right, second graders. So when we left off, we were at 8. If I had equals, then I would have 16, 32, 64, and 128. So I'm going to pull mine over. So I had my 16, my 32, my 64, and my 128. So we know that we have 128 Wubbles by Friday. Now let's take a look at part 2. So it says on each line, write the number of Wubbles after halving. So use your calculator to help you remember that half of means divided by 2. So if we start with that, there are 128 Wubbles. After week 1, there were how many Wubbles? So in my calculator, I have I'm going to click clear first, and I'm going to start fresh. So I'm going to type in 128. Now I'm going to divide this time. So my division symbol looks like this. Can you click divide 2 and then click equals? And what number pops up? 64. So after wink 1, there are 64 wobbles. Can you continue to click equals and divide each of your numbers to see how much you have after wink 7? Press pause and play when you're ready to check. All right, second graders, so I'm going to continue with my calculator. So I was at 64. When I continue to hit equals, you can see my wobbles decreasing each time. So after wink 2, I had 32. After wink 3, there were 16. After wink 4, I had 8. After wink 5, I had 4. After wink 6, I had 2. And then after wink 7, there was 1 wobble. Do you see anything kind of fun with this page? If you noticed that our numbers, so we started again at the number we left off, and then we were repeating our numbers again. So we went from 128 to 64, just like when we were multiplying by 2. When we were dividing by 2, we were getting our same wobbles. So as you can see, our line just went up and then it went right back down. All right, I hope you enjoyed that story. The last thing that we'll do today is talk about our math boxes. So if you can look at page 171, I'll talk about the directions when you're all done. If you could take a picture and add that picture to Seesaw for your classroom teacher, we will go over this page in our next video. So for question 1, collect 29 counters. How many groups of 3 can you make? And then how many counters are left over? You're solving for question 2, filling in your missing numbers for question 3. For question 4, draw the lines of symmetry on this rectangle. Notice how they say lines. So you should be able to find more than one. For question 5, you're going to double. At the very bottom, you get to pick. And then shade 1/2 of the square. All right, I'll see you next time.